hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. How's it all going? As you might notice, no green screen for me tonight because I realized today I'm actually wearing green. So it would just look as though it was like a floating head in a brown cardigan giving you quiz questions this evening. Yes, unfortunate result for the Irish against the Welsh. I was very surprised we were actually still in it by the second half. But yes, valiant performances by all. And, you know, it's one of those things. Didn't expect to win today, but, well, these things happen. Anyway, you're very welcome to another edition of the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Hope you're all keeping well. Our first one of February, which is mad, thinking, you know, in 1 month's time, we're actually going to be up to the 1 year anniversary of Big Nerd Pub Quiz, which is quite mind-blowing if you think about it. Anyway, if you've been here before, thank you very much for taking part and tuning in again tonight. If you haven't, this is how you play the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Straight up, really, really simple. All you have to do is log on to the Google answer sheet. You can do that using your phone. Hold it up to the screen, scan that QR code, and you'll have access to tonight's answer sheet. Very, very simple. All you have to do is open the Google answer sheet, and you'll see an option to enter your team name. Email address is also required. 8 rounds, 6 questions each. There's only one correct answer per question. No trick questions. Don't do those. Answer the questions as I ask them out. You have an option of 4 answers per question, unless otherwise stated. Some of them have 2. Once the quiz is over, all you have to do is press submit and you get your scores. But stick about for the answers. I'll be posting the final standings at the very end and announcing the winners, whoever they may be. Sometimes my computer gets really slow, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to read out the answers at some point. Big Nerd Pub Quiz on Harbourside Radio's Facebook page, of course. Live every Sunday at 8. Don't forget, you can keep Harbourside Radio on the air via the GoFundMe. There's links in our social media descriptions. Go and find those. It's absolutely amazing work that we're doing here at the radio station. And we've got lots of exciting things coming up over the next couple of weeks, including a 24-hour live stream in which I'm going to be up for 24 hours. Not doing a quiz, but just presenting with all these fantastic people that you see here as well, so don't miss that. Don't forget, give us a like, share, and a follow on all of my different social media channels. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, smash and like that subscribe button. Share the quiz on youtube.com/Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Also, I have a Patreon and PayPal page as well if you'd like to donate to all the work that goes into making this quiz, like I said. The price of a pint or a cup of coffee, as I say. And finally, like I said, Big Nerd Pub Quiz is available for hire for private events. Perfect activity for social distancing. It's fully customizable with questions and graphics and very affordable and easy to set up. If you want a quote, by all means, bignerdpubquiz@gmail.com. And check out all the other quizzes that we've been playing over the last 11 months now. They're all archived and up on YouTube. Click on the answer sheets. They're all there. You can play them anytime, any place. And like I said, tons of things to choose from. If you've got any ideas as well about what quizzes you want to see in the future, by all means, let me know. All right, so let's get kicked off this evening. For tonight's quiz, like I said, I've got 8 rounds of really tricky trivia for you guys, and I had some help out there as well. People were giving me suggestions for rounds. Thank you to Pia, who suggested 2 rounds, which I am totally doing tonight towards the end of the quiz. So, anyway, let's not waste no more time. It's 5 minutes past 8. Let's do it. Let's play our first round. It is general knowledge, or should have said current affairs. Yes, let's see how well you've been paying attention to all the different news events that have been happening over the last couple of weeks, or the last couple of days. Let's see how you get on. This is the first one. Like I said, I've been talking about the rugby. Round 1, question 1. Scotland earned their first ever victory against the England team in the Six Nations at Twickenham yesterday. What year was their last win at that venue? That's round 1, question 1. I can tell you, it was a very long time ago. So round 1, question 1. Yeah, been a long time coming against the old enemy, as they say. And it was just a shame that there's no Scotland fans to actually see it. But Scotland got their first victory against England at Twickenham in the Six Nations. What year was their last win at the Cabbage Patch? That's round 1, question number 1. Round 1, question 2. Very sad news. I'm a massive Sound of Music fan. But Christopher Plummer passed away this week. Whilst most famous for playing Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music, which Star Trek film did he appear as the villainous General Chang? In fact, he was good friends with William Shatner, both Canadians, both came up through the acting scene in Canada. Yes, and they were reunited on screen for this particular movie. But which Star Trek film did Christopher Plummer appear in as the villainous General Chang? It's round 1, question 2. Round 1, question 3. John Humphreys is stepping down as the host of which UK TV quiz? Pretty hard one, that. Well, the quiz is. Not a hard question, I think. I think you should know this. Yes, the host of the Today programme on BBC Radio 4, resigning his duties as quizmaster. Well, BBC, if you're watching, I am available. By all means, get in touch. But yes, John Humphreys is stepping down as the host of which UK TV quiz? I wonder who would replace him on that. That's round 1, question 3. Round 1, question 4. A remaster of which 1997 video game was leaked online this week by YouTube gamer Grassloo00. This is round 1, question 4. I'll give you a bit of a clue on this. It was a very famous game on a particular games console. FPS, if that gives you any clues. Not frames per second. First person shooter. But yes, round 1, question 4. A remaster of which 1997 video game was leaked online this week by YouTube gamer Grassloo00. Let's fire on to the next one. Who's staying up? So round 1, question 5. Which musical act is providing the entertainment for the halftime show at this year's Super Bowl? Super Bowl 50. Tom Brady back in the big time again with Tampa Bay. But yes, the legendary halftime show, which has got bigger and better over the years. Basically a gig in the middle of a sports game. But which musical act is providing this year's entertainment for the halftime show at this year's Super Bowl? And finally, round 1, question 6. A record by Scammermanga Silk sold at auction this week for over £30,000. What's the title of the record? It's a really fascinating one, this. Previous record holders would have been an unreleased album by Prince and a very early copy of Love Me Do. Very early pressing of that by the Beatles. Yeah, but this is a really random one. The music video, I've just watched it. It's a pretty cool track, like, you know, but the music video itself is actually filmed around where I used to live in East London. I recognise the Old Ford Lock and the canals around there. But yeah, that's where they filmed it. But it's just weird that this has happened. 30 grand. It's a record. For a record. A record by Scaramanga Silk sold at auction this week for £30,000. What's the name of the record? And there's your roundup of questions all about general knowledge. So yes, Scotland earned their first victory against England at Twickenham. What year was their last ever win at the venue? 2. Chris Plummer played General Chang in which Star Trek film? 3. John Humphrey stepping down as the host of which UK TV quiz? 4. A remaster of which 1997 video game was leaked online by YouTube gamer Grassloo00? 5. Which musical act is providing the entertainment for the halftime show at this year's Super Bowl? And finally, record by Scaramanga Silk sold at auction for 30 grand. What's the title of that record? Give you a couple of seconds to gather your thoughts and then move on to the next round. All right, so we're moving on to round number 2. Before we do that, don't forget all the different social media channels are there in the corner. If you want to give me a follow, Big Nerd Pub Quiz, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. If you're enjoying the quiz, by all means, and any suggestions for rounds or suggestions for entire quizzes, by all means, get in touch with me. Fantastic stuff. Anyway, we're moving on to the next round this evening. And it is, like I said, I'm keeping a very strict pattern here to these. So here we go. The next round tonight is music round. And I've done this thing where I've done this before, where I've merged a music round in with a TV round. So yes, movie tie-ins. So do you remember back in the 80s and the 90s or even the 70s, like they would have like a big blockbuster movie and there would be a single, like a big lead single attached to the soundtrack of the movie, and they would release it and they would have a video tie-in with the movie, or it would just have the singer singing in a record booth going, yeah, you know, with the movie playing in the background. I'll give you an example. Titanic, Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. You don't get those anymore, because I guess there's no money to be made off promoting a single. There you go. That's what it is, isn't it? But anyway, I'm going to give you six titles of songs. All I want you to do is link them to the movie. All right, let's see how you do. Easy one this. Round 2, question 1. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Originally written by Dolly Parton. Was actually very inexorably linked to this particular movie. Round 2, question number 1. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. It's round 2, question 1. Round 2, question 2. Love Is All Around, Wet, Wet, Wet. Scottish band fronted by Marty Pellow there was the big single of the soundtrack for this particular movie. But which one was it? Round 2, question 2. Love Is All Around. Originally recorded by a band called The Trugs. It was a cover. And was in the charts for frickin' ages. Just remember that. It was in the charts for so long. Round 2, question 2. Love Is All Around. On the soundtrack for which movie? Round 2, question 3. How Do I Live by Trisha Yearwood. It's round 2, question 3. Interestingly, the song itself was recorded by Leanne Rimes. You know it. You totally know it. But her version was attached to this movie. And it was written by Diane Warren, a very famous songwriter who actually writes for the likes of Aerosmith and Rod Stewart. But yes, How Do I Live, Trisha Yearwood. Big track. Again, covered by Leanne Rimes. But her version wasn't the one used in the movie. It was Trisha Yearwood. So it's round 2, question 3. The answer will surprise you. I can assure you that. And I always forget that this song was in the movie. But there you go. Round 2, question 4. I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. almost a question of one of those songs that are actually nearly bigger than the movie itself. I actually remember we had this on tape just because of this song. I think we had the album. I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. Round 2, question 4. Moving on, round 2, question 5. Deeper Underground, Jamiroquai. Massive fan of Jamiroquai. Saw them at the O2 in London a couple of years ago. Absolutely brilliant gig. This song, I don't think it was featured in any album, or they might have been. But yeah, again, I think this particular movie had two singles attached to it. That's one of those things. Was this kind of big excess? Yes, the movie, the big music tie-in as well. But there you go. Round 2, question 5. Deeper Underground by Jamiroquai. And finally, Hearts on Fire by John Cafferty is round 2, question 6. Hearts on Fire. If you're looking at your question sheet, you will see there's a bit of a theme there with those answers. Hearts on Fire by John Cafferty. And if it's my opinion, this particular movie and this particular franchise is the best one, hands down. It stands alone as, do you know what, not even considered to be the best one back in the day, but no, it is. It's pretty good. I've actually seen it in the cinema in a re-release. There you go, round 2, question 6. Hearts on Fire by John Cafferty. And there's a roundup of questions all about movies and music. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. 2, Love Is All Around by Wet, Wet, Wet. How Do I Live by Trisha Yearwood. I Believe I Can Fly, R. Kelly. Deeper Underground, Jamiroquai. And Hearts on Fire by John Cafferty. Give you a couple of seconds to work those out before we move on to the next round. Alright, so 2 down, 6 to go. So last week, like I said, I always tend to alternate these. So last week we did movies. This week we're doing TV and crime thrillers. Yeah, I don't know where I got this one into my head. I think I was watching The Serpent, and I thought it would be a really, really good idea to kind of focus on doing more crime thrillers. I would do a whole round about those. So yes, nice little mix of US and UK, and actually Scandinavian crime thrillers in this round. Let's see how you get on with this one. Round 3, question number 1. So Horatio Caine, the wisecracking detective played by David Caruso, stars in which franchise of CSI, Crime Scene Investigation? That's round 3, question number 1. He always has a quip, you know? And then the soundtrack kicks in. Yeah! That's your clue for that one. So round 3, question 1. Horatio Caine, the wisecracking detective played by David Caruso, stars in which franchise of CSI? Round 3, question 2. Love this show. Do check it out if you can. Which Scandi crime drama is set between Malmo and Copenhagen? Malmo in Sweden and Copenhagen in Denmark. It's really, really good, this. I'm a really big fan of this show. And do enjoy a bit of Scandinavian drama now and again. That's round 3, question 2. Which Scandi crime drama is set between Malmo and Copenhagen? That's your second question about crime thrillers tonight. Round 3, question 2. What is the name of Olivia Colman's character in the ITV series Broadchurch? Stars there alongside David Tennant. It's amazing to think, like, Olivia Colman, like, having come from, like, just... I remember seeing her in a car ad years ago for the AA, then onto Peep Show, Look Around You, Broadchurch. She finally picked up an Oscar, like. Brilliant actress. Round 3, question 3. What's the name of her character in the ITV series Broadchurch? It's round 3, question 3. Round 3, question 4. In which US state was the CBS crime drama Murder, She Wrote set in? Angela Lansbury. Very famous TV show. There is a fan theory that she's the one behind all the murders. So why does so much murder happen around her town and she's writing about it? Surely she's the one who knows. But in which US state is the CBS crime drama Murder, She Wrote set in? It's round 3, question 4. Round 3, question 5. Detective Chief Inspector Jane Tennyson is the main protagonist in which UK crime series? It's round 3, question 5. Great show, this. I got introduced to it about 2 years ago and actually was watching it on DVD. Or it might have been on Netflix, I'm not sure. But I watched all the stuff in the 80s and then the early 90s and then it's just amazing, like just how far we've come in terms of technology and everything like that. It's amazing just watching it. But there we go. Round 3, question 5. Detective Chief Inspector Jane Tennyson is the main protagonist in which UK crime series? Helen Mirren there playing her as well. And finally, which branch of the government do Mulder and Scully work for in the paranormal thriller The X-Files? It's round 3, question 6. Is that a crime thriller? I am going to say it is. It's paranormal thriller / crime, and they do work for a branch of the government that does that sort of thing, so I kind of figured why not throw it in. So round 3, question 6. Which branch of the government do Mulder and Scully work for in the paranormal thriller The X-Files? And there's your roundup of crime thrillers. So Horatio Caine is the wisecracking detective played by David Caruso. It stars in which franchise of CSI? 2. Which Scandi crime drama is set between Malmo and Copenhagen? 3. What is the name of Olivia Colman's character in the ITV series Broadchurch? 4. In which US state was the CBS crime drama Murder, She Wrote set in? 5. Detective Chief Inspector Jane Tennyson is the main protagonist in which UK crime series? And 6. Which branch of the government do Mulder and Scully work for in the paranormal thriller The X-Files? Give you a couple of seconds to work those out. And then we move on to the next group of rounds. Okay, we're coming up nearly to the halfway point, on to round number 4. And like I said, if you've been playing these quizzes for the last couple of weeks and months, then you'll know that round 4 is always going to be history and politics. And today I'm focusing on battles. This was thanks to Pia, who recommended this one for me. Battles. Yes, I'm going to give you the names of 6 very, very famous battles. All you have to do is link them to the wars in which they were fought in. Sound simple? Well, let's see how you get on with this. Round 4, question number 1. First history and politics question tonight. So, the charge of the Light Brigade. It's round 4, question 1. I have a weird connection to this. I lived in a building in London which was owned by a guy who was involved in this. And there was a plaque in our foyer that said this house was given by a certain commander that was in charge, or he was there at the charge of the Light Brigade, a Lord Credegar. It's round 4, question 1. The charge of the Light Brigade. Which war, which conflict was that battle? Where did it take place? In which war? Round 4, question 2. Operation Market Garden. Always remember this because it was a question on one of my exams and I got it wrong. I think it was like I was given a history test once and I got every single question right except this. And you know what? You know when you get the question wrong, that's the one you always remember. Round 4, question 2. Which conflict or war featured Operation Market Garden? Round 4, question 3. The Tet Offensive. This is round 4, question 3. The Tet Offensive was a huge strike back on a particular day Again, if I give too much away, you'll probably get it. But, it's a very well-known one. Round 4, question 3. The Tet Offensive. What conflict or war? The Battle of Bosworth Field. Now, I included this one because it related very, very closely to... it relates to a conflict that was, first of all, dramatized by William Shakespeare and involved a certain king that was found in a car park in Leicester. Round 4, question 4. The Battle of Bosworth Field. Looking for the war that took place in. Round 4, question 5. The Battle of Agincourt. Another Shakespeare reference here. We merry few, we band of brothers. The quote. On Swithin's Day. The Battle of Agincourt. But what war, what conflict did the Battle of Agincourt take place in? That's round 4, question 5. I'll give you a clue. One of many between the Brits and the French. I just can't get enough bitten ahead of each other. And finally, round 4, question 6. The Battles of Saratoga. Now, I always thought traditionally it was one battle. No, it was a series of battles. The Battles of Saratoga. Maybe the uniforms might give you a clue there in the picture. It's round 4, question 6. The Battles of Saratoga. Which war or conflict or skirmish did that take place in? And there is your roundup there of questions. Round 4. Question 1, the Charge of the Light Brigade. Question 2, Operation Market Garden. 3, the Tet Offensive. 4, the Battle of Bosworth Field. 5, the Battle of Agincourt. And 6, the Battles of Saratoga. Okay, so we've reached the halfway point of tonight's quiz, and a couple of wee announcements that I've got for you. First of all, next Monday the 15th, I'll be appearing on the BBC quiz show Lightning, hosted by Zoe Lyons. Recorded it all the way back in August there, and I'm absolutely delighted to be on the other side of the quiz set up, getting getting bombarded with questions and testing my knowledge of stuff. So it's nice to see me squirm for once. If you want to do that, it's on BBC Two on 6:30 in the evenings. So yes, BBC Two 6:30 in the evenings. So starting on Monday next week, the show's already on. I do suggest you watch it. It's very, very good. It was a very fun quiz to film. Not my first one, of course, but yes, by all means, I'll keep you informed about when that it's on. But like I said, the week of episodes I'm going to be in starts on the 15th. In other news, on the 20th of February, I am going to be taking place in a 24-hour radio marathon here on Harbourside Radio. 24 hours as part of a GoFundMe initiative to raise money for the station. Yes, do look out for that. Harbourside.com, by all means. We're setting up a GoFundMe. We have a GoFundMe set up, of course, and we're trying to keep the station afloat over the next couple of months because we can't do any live gigs here, and it's really, hamstringing the work that we're trying to do here. But by all means, I'm going to be taking the air for 24 hours. I'm going to throw a quiz in there. So by all means, if you want to play a quiz, it'll be on Saturday night, and I will definitely throw a quiz in there in one of the hours. So if you want to see how tired I am, we'll give that a go. By all means, check it out. So that's the 20th of February, the 24-hour radiothon. Really, really looking forward to that, guys. And tons of amazing programs in there for whatever floats your boat. I think we should use that as a motto. Anyway, coming up now to the halfway point, like I said, 8:30. We're moving on to round number 5. If you know this quiz, you know round 5 is all about sports. And because we've done Six Nations last week, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Back to football, back to soccer. I'm going to give you a list of a string of football clubs. All I want you to do is look at those football clubs and work out the transfer history of which particular player I'm talking about. I've actually tried to make these as easy as I can because I think you can pick up points even if you're not that au fait with the beautiful game. So here we go, round 5, question number 1. Let's see how you get on with this one. So, which player had this on his sporting resume? Round 5, question number 1. Sporting Lisbon, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus. So from Lisbon to England to Spain to Italy. I want you to work out which player this could be. Which illustrious player has played for all of those clubs and made a name for himself. So round 5, question 1. Sporting Lisbon, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus. So I think a nice wee easy one to start you off with. If you know a little bit about football, you might be able to get this one. Round 5, question number 1. Round 5, question number 2. Juve again, but they're Cannes, Bordeaux, Juventus, and Real Madrid. So the player gonna go on the other way from Italy to Spain. But that's round 5, question 2. 2 French clubs, Cannes, Bordeaux. Then to the big leagues of Juve and Real. But which player am I talking about here? I think the clue might be in the fact that 2 French teams starting off career. Previous one as well might give you a clue too. Sporting Lisbon, Portuguese. So that the root club will always possibly give you an idea about who we're talking about. Round 5, question 3. Cove Ramblers, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Celtic. Who could I be talking about there? 2 Manchester United players now. I mentioned this player was a centre midfielder, defender, considered to be one of the greats. Now into managerial positions, hasn't fared that well. You see him on the TV doing a bit of punditry these days as well. No stranger to controversy. But round 5, question 3. Cove Ramblers, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Celtic. Round 5, question 4. Here's a little interesting one. Metz, Red Bull Salzburg, Southampton, Liverpool. This player, not the first to make the drive up north from Southampton to Liverpool. It's where the current Liverpool team have seemed to have poached a lot of great players from there. But which player am I talking about here? Metz, Red Bull Salzburg, Southampton, Liverpool. Considered to be one of the great footballers of his age at the moment. It's round 5, question 4. Round 5, question 5. Santos, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain. So a 3 club roster so far. This player still relatively fresh. Still got a good couple of years ahead of him. Making big names for himself at PSG. Round 5, question 5. Santos, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain. Which player am I talking about there? And finally, a classic one for you here. Round 5, question 6. Newcastle, Spurs, Lazio, Rangers, Middlesbrough. That's just a selection of some of the clubs. I think he played for a couple more clubs after that. But this is a classic one. So the Magpies, the Spurs. So yes, again, look at the root club. That's your biggest clue with this one. And a famous move to Lazio in the mid-90s. Then back to Britain with Rangers. And then on to Middlesbrough. Who am I talking about here? Newcastle, Spurs, Lazio, Rangers, Middlesbrough. And there's your roundup of questions all about football transfers. So, Sporting Lisbon, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus. Which player is that? Cannes, Bordeaux, Juventus, Real Madrid is your second one. Cove Ramblers, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Celtic is number 3. 4, Metz, Red Bull Salzburg, Southampton, Liverpool. 5, Santos in Brazil, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, and Newcastle, Spurs, Lazio, Rangers, and Middlesbrough. All those teams, I think a lot of the root teams, the first teams, all give you clues about where these players started. So yes, tricky enough one, I think. Tricky enough one. If you're not into your sport, then, I do apologize. There will be chances to pick up questions and rounds in the next couple of rounds. So let's see how you do. We're going on to round number 6 now. So round number 6, what have I got lined up for you here? We've got geography and volcanoes. Another suggestion from my friend. Don't know where that came from, but volcanoes, sure, why not? Volcanoes. Yes, let's see how you do with this one. Round 6, all about volcanoes. Here we go. Question number 1. On which Mediterranean island is Mount Etna, Europe's only active volcano? That's your first geography question tonight. I've actually been there. It's very warm. Especially when you're up the mountain itself, and it's very, very, very hot. Just, you can feel the heat coming out of the ground. It's pretty mental. But round 6, question 1. On which Mediterranean island is Mount Etna, Europe's only active volcano? Round 6, question 2. Another Italian one, but what was the name of the volcano that destroyed the ancient Roman city of Pompeii in 79 AD? Again, another volcano I've been to the top of. Forget about. Amazing city. Absolutely incredible. If you're ever in the region, Pompeii, Herculaneum is an amazingly preserved, smaller town, but it's actually better preserved than Pompeii itself. But do both. But absolutely fascinating place. It was round 6, question 2. So yes, round 6, question 2. What was the name of the volcano that destroyed the ancient Roman city of Pompeii in 79 AD? Round 6, question 3. Krakatoa, the famous volcanic eruption in 1883, is located in which modern-day country? Krakatoa is still active and produced an explosion so loud it could be heard for like thousands of miles, apparently, and caused a shift in the weather. So much so, it's actually reflected in paintings of that era. It caused this kind of very vivid, bright sunsets because the volcanic ash had spewed in. According to scientists, the actual explosion was equivalent to X amount of atomic bombs. But yes, round 6, question 3. Krakatoa, the famous volcanic eruption in 1883, is located in which modern-day country? Round 6, question 4. Located in Hawaii, what's the name of the largest active volcano in the world? It's technically the largest mountain in the world as well. It's actually submerged under the water. It's taller than Mount Everest, apparently. But yes, round 6, question 4. Located in Hawaii, what is the name of the largest active volcano in the world? Your 5th question tonight, round 6, question 5. True or false? Mount Fuji is an active volcano. I can tell you it is a volcano. But, round 6, question 5. True or false? Is Mount Fuji active or not? Or, Mount Fuji is an active volcano. Is that true or a false statement? That's how you should refer to that. Japanese, absolutely obsessed with it. You see it everywhere. It's beautiful as well when you see it in real life. But round 6, question 5. True or false? Mount Fuji is an active volcano. And finally, last question about geography. In the mid-1990s, a devastating eruption on the Soufriere Hills volcano caused an evacuation of which Caribbean island? I remember this very distinctly because it was such an amazing thing to see the footage of that. And the entire island covered in volcanic ash. Half of it is now sealed off in a massive exclusion zone. People have moved back to the north of it. But it's incredible to think. And it's incredible to see those scenes. But round 6, question 6. In the mid-1990s, a devastating eruption of the Soufriere Hills volcano caused the evacuation of which Caribbean island? There's your roundup there of questions all about volcanoes. So, yes, in which Mediterranean island is Mount Etna, Europe's only active volcano? 2. What was the name of the volcano that destroyed the ancient Roman city of Pompeii in AD 79? 3. Krakatoa is the famous volcanic eruption in 1883. It's located in which modern-day country? 4. Located in Hawaii. What is the name of the largest active volcano in the world? 5. True or false? Mount Fuji is an active volcano. And finally, number 6. In the mid-1990s, a devastating eruption in the Soufriere Hills volcano caused the evacuation of which Caribbean island? So there you go. 6 questions all about volcanoes. Thought that was quite an interesting one to talk about. I remember doing a question a couple of months ago about that one that went off in Iceland. And it was basically just like a traffic jam of continents. It was just I can't even begin to... You know the one I'm talking about. It's the one that caused all the flights to get grounded. That's about 10 years ago now. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me tonight on the pub quiz. 2 more to go. 2 more questions to go. Now, brace yourselves for this one. It's a toughie. I make no apologies for making my quizzes easy. However, round 7 is all about Morse code. I always save this one for a bit of a speciality round. This is how I write them. But round 7, Morse code. I don't know how well you're going to do with this one, guys. If you don't know, give it a guess. Some educated guesses in here, I think, but do you well? I'm going to show you 6 instances of Morse code. Dots and dashes. All you have to do is figure out the number. Now, if you know Morse code, this will be a walk in the park. If you don't, well, best of luck to you. Let's see how we get on. Remember, there's certain ones which are really well known, like SOS and stuff like that, so that might give you a clue on how that works. So if you know those 2, those might be coming up in the next couple of questions. Let's see how you do. Round 7, question 1. Like, come on, when is the last time you used Morse code? But dot dash is the Morse code for what letter? Now, I'm using all letters tonight, not numbers. But dot dash is the Morse code for what letter? Round 7, question number 1. I know it's pretty tough, but then, like I said before, if all these quizzes were super easy, you wouldn't bother doing them, would you? I'm getting some great ideas for rounds again for next week, so do stay tuned. But I thought this one was fiendishly... by the time I committed to it, I thought this was pretty tough, but we're here, we're doing it. Round 7, question 1, dot dash. Round 7, question 2, dot dot dot. Do you remember I said something about SOS? So this could be it. Round 7, question 2. Dot, dot, dot. I knew someone who was fluent in Morse code because he was a signalman in the Merchant Navy. And that's what he did. So he knew his Morse code inside out. Round 7, question 2. Dot, dot, dot. Round 7, question 3, dash, dash, dash. What letter could that be? Remember I told you, give you a little bit of a clue there. You might be able to figure that one out. If you know what SOS is, then you might be able to work out what this is. So round 7, question 3, dash, dash, dash. Round 7, question number 4, dash. Again, quite a difficult one. Like, if you don't know it, you don't know it. It's one of those things. But you got a 1 in 4 chance in your answer sheet there. I figured just have a go. It's a fiendishly hard round. But it's one of those ones. I had a bit of a brain melt this afternoon watching the Ireland game. And I don't know how I came up with this one. But I thought, why not? Round 7, question 4. Dash stands for which letter in Morse code? Dash dot, dash dot. It's round 7, question 5. .com. Slash dot, slash dot, slash dot com. No, it's not that. Round 7, question 5. Dash dot is what letter in Morse code? Give you a couple of seconds to work that out. And next up, dot. Okay, so round 7, question 6, dot. Fiendish round, I know, but there we go. It's one of those ones. I would never try to get you with trick questions, but these are pretty difficult. I would struggle with these ones myself. In fact, and all the questions I write, I always figure I wouldn't write myself a question that I couldn't answer. But there we go. Here's round 7, question 1, dot dash. Question 2, dot dot dot. Question 3, dash dash dash. Question 4, dash. Question 5, dash dot dash dot. And question 6, dot. Okay, like I said, pretty tough one there, guys. Like I said, appreciate you for kind of putting up with that one. Anyway, thank you so much for playing the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. We've got one round left. And hopefully this will be a slightly easier for you out there. This one's for all the literature fans out there, and big thanks to my friend for recommending me for this round too. I was having a little bit of a writer's block last night. I wanted to get all the quizzes written before I could watch the rugby there this afternoon, and I did that successfully. I had the rugby on while I was typing up. But here we go, round 8. Final round tonight, round number 8. Arts and literature. Arts and literature. And it's a picture round. What I've done is got the pictures of 6 very famous novelists. All I want you to do is figure out who they are. Seems straightforward enough. Well, let's see how you do with this one. Round 8, your final round tonight. I'm going to leave it up until 10 minutes to. Let's see how you get on with it. Round 8, final round tonight. So, name those people there that you see in the pictures. I'm not going to give any clues for this. Figure you can work them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're just basically, you've got 1 in 4 chance of each one. Yes, I might actually go for all like black and white pictures too for this one. Round 8, picture round, name the writer. So yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll leave that up for you guys until, like I said, by my watch, it is 8:47 exactly. I'm going to keep this up until roughly about 10 to. Maybe just to make it a little bit fair, 20:51 with this one. So yes, for all you arts and literature fans out there, if you can work these out, you probably recognize some of these straight away. But yes, arts and literature round, but this particular case, literature. See how you get on with it. Name the author corresponding with the picture. Sound easy? Well, let's see how you get on with it. Any literature fans out there will probably recognize a few of these people. But round 8, leave you right up till 9 minutes to 9, and then we'll close the quiz. I will attempt to get the final standings for tonight's quiz and hopefully be able to work out who the winner is. Not that there's any prizes to give out. Lean times here at Harbourside. Lean times from myself. But yes, 20:51. That's when I am going to wrap up tonight's quiz. $20.48. You know what? I'll give it right up until about another 2 minutes on that. You're probably sick of looking at it by now. But if you can work them out, I think actually 10-2 is a reasonable enough time. You've got 1 minute, 5 seconds left on it. Like I said, I'm going by my iPhone watch here. Yes, indeed. So yes, 20:49. A couple of more seconds left on that, and we'll leave that up and then move on to the next. So 30 seconds left. Name those writers. Very straightforward. Very, very, very straightforward. Okay, guys, there is 10-2. I think we've done well with that. Thank you so much. That's the end of tonight's Big Nerd Pub Quiz for February. The first one of February the 7th, 2021. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. I'm going to check out the scores to see who's actually won this. Now, bear in mind, my computer's pretty slow. It's not that, the internet's not that fast here this week. We're doing a lot of work. Let's have a wee look. Let's see how you guys have done. If I can bring it up. And then after that, we'll get back to you. Gonna take a very quick break. And then hopefully get back and see who tonight's winner is. Don't go away. Gonna just take 2-3 minutes. Hopefully be back with you by the very latest 5 to 9 by my watch. Okay, so just gonna take a very quick break and I'll be back. Also thinking about doing this on Twitch as well. So if you're on Twitch, I'm gonna be starting a Twitch account at some point this week, and I'm gonna be streaming to that as well. But anyway, let's do it. Let's move on to the next one. I think it's cool because you can actually interact with me and all of that. All right, guys, let's just take a quick. Alright guys, tell you what the crack is. I'm not having any luck with that spreadsheet. Like, the internet's far too slow, and I know that's affecting issues with my streaming tonight. So I'm just going to go straight ahead. I'm going to give you the answers for tonight, and if you know you've done well, you know you've done well. Let's go through them. Let's see how you've done this evening on the Big Nerd Pub Quiz, this 7th of February 2021. Let's have a look and see how you've done. Here's the answers for tonight. So, the last time Scotland won in Murrayfield, all the way back in 1983. Long time coming for the guys. Fair play to them. Christopher Plummer played the villain in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. 3. John Humphreys stepping down as the presenter of Mastermind. 4. GoldenEye is the 1997 game that's got a leaked re-release. The Weeknd are doing the halftime show. And Choose Your Weapon is the name of that record that sold for 30 grand. This week. Absolutely insane amount of money there. Round 2, question 2. So those film soundtracks. Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, of course, is The Bodyguard. Love Is All Around, Wet Wet Wet, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I Believe I Can Fly, Con Air. Space, oh yeah, no, sorry. I Believe I Can Fly. Oh, have I got those mixed up? I think I might have mixed. No, wait, I haven't. Hold on. How Do I Live? Trisha Yearwood, Con Air, believe it or not. Space Jam, I Believe I Can Fly. Deeper Underground, Jamiroquai was from Godzilla. And Hearts on Fire, Rocky 4, the one with Drago, my favorite one. Next one up, crime thrillers. David Caruso is in CSI Miami. Scandi crime drama set between Malmo and Copenhagen is The Bridge. 3. Ellie Miller is the name of Olivia Colman's character in Broadchurch. 4. Murder, She Wrote is set in Maine. 5. Prime Suspect is Helen Mirren and Jane Tennyson. And finally, Mulder and Scully work for the FBI in The X-Files. Round 4, those famous battles. So yes, the Charge of the Light Brigade took place during the Crimean War. Operation Market Garden, World War II. The Tet Offensive, Vietnam. 4. The Battle of Bosworth Field was the War of the Roses, Richard III. 5. The Battle of Agincourt is the 100 Years' War. And finally, the Battles of Saratoga, the American Revolutionary War. Round 5 answers. So those sporting transfers: Sporting Lisbon, Man United, Real Madrid, Juventus, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. Cannes, Bordeaux, Juventus, Real Madrid, Zinedine Zidane. Cove Ramblers, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Celtic, Roy Keane. Mets, Red Bull Salzburg, Southampton, Liverpool, Sadio Mane. Santos, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Neymar. And finally, Newcastle, Spurs, Lazio, Rangers, Middlesbrough. It's Paul Gascoigne, aka Gaza. Your question is all about volcanoes. Mount Etna is on Sicily. Vesuvius was the volcano that destroyed Pompeii in AD 79. Indonesia is the location of Krakatoa. Mauna Loa is the name of the largest active volcano in Hawaii. True or false, Mount Fuji is an active volcano? It is true. And finally, Montserrat was the name of the island that was evacuated in the mid-90s in the Caribbean due to a massive volcanic eruption there. Those answers, those Morse code ones, I do apologize if you do find those difficult. So it's A, S, O, T, C, and E. So yes, dot dash is A, dot 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 is S, and dash 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 is O. So yes, if you see those two in combination, that's SOS. It's the easiest one to remember. Dash is T. Dash dot is C. And dot is E. And finally there are those writers. 1 was Ernest Hemingway. 2, Edgar Allan Poe. 3, James Joyce. 4, Margaret Atwood. 5, Enid Blyton. And finally 6, Roald Dahl. Guys, absolute pleasure as always. Just bringing us up to 9 o'clock here tonight. Thank you so much for playing the Big Nerd Pub Quiz as always. Don't forget, there's tons of stuff coming up on Harbourside Radio. If you want to check those out, then sign up to all our different social media channels, Instagram, Facebook. And we have, like I said, the 24-hour radiothon. I'm going to be on for all day on a Saturday. So I'm going to move that quiz, which should be on the 21st back to the 20th. So do keep in mind that time change. I will post up and you will be able to play the quiz as I present it from in the new studio that we have built here at Harbourside. Like I said before, absolute pleasure doing these for you guys. Like I said, really, really cool that people are playing them out there. Really love hearing from you all. And there's tons more stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks, including another big announcement. We've got to make a massive St. Patrick's Day celebration that we're doing here on Harbourside Radio. As part of the festivities, we're going to be doing non-stop music for about 4 or 5 hours, all pre-recorded here in our own facilities and broadcast to you around the world. A genuine Irish St. Patrick's Day celebration full of music, song, dance, poetry, drama, theatre, you name it, we've got it. And that'll be on Harbourside Radio as well, so don't miss out on that. Next quiz is on next week on Valentine's Day. So I'm assuming I'm going to do something about rom-coms and romance and love and stuff like that. That's the 14th of February. Thank you for playing again. 8 p.m. is the next quiz next Sunday. Hope you're all keeping well. If you want a romantic night in, switch on the quiz. It's definitely the most romantic thing you could do, listening to my voice. But thank you once again. Hope to see you soon. Stay in touch, and like I say every week, in these uncertain times, stay safe. Have a great week, and I'll see you again soon. Good night.